Hi there, this is Sam from OTS Planes with breaking news. This is a report from RT.com saying passengers crew on Australian aircraft exposed to toxic fumes. The passengers and crew of Australian planes have been exposed to potentially toxic fumes on over 1,000 occasions, a report reveals. Former cabin crew are now taking legal action alleging the exposure is linked to cancers and neurological disorders. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau, ATSB, has released a report on aircraft safety documenting over 1,000 cases of exposure to toxic fumes on Australian flights over the past 5 years. While the report says that most of the cases when members of the cabin crew or passengers were affected of minor consequence, there are 11 minor injuries and 1 incapacitation. Reports of fumes filling the cabin range from minor smells to cases of smoke from aircraft engine fuel seeping into the plane. The document said that most of fumes could be attributed to aircraft system issues relating to failure or malfunction of electrical systems. The ATSB concludes that the risk of an incident occurring were rare and effective measures were deployed in most cases to combat the fumes. However, former cabin crew members have complained, claiming prolonged exposure to the fumes has caused chronic health problems ranging from neurological disorders to cancer. They claim that they were never warned of the potential impact on their long-term health. Former pilot Susan McAllis told news.com.au that she collapsed in the cockpit of a BAE 146 aircraft because of repeated exposure to fumes from heated jet oil. Sitting in an unhealthy environment and being exposed to chemicals every day made me sick, she said. There is a pattern of chronic ill health and needs to be looked at further. McAllis now heads research at the Global Cabin Air Quality Executive. Her work has uncovered cases of cancer and neurological problems among crew members of Australian planes. The BAE 146 came up as one of the worst aircraft for fumes, according to research from the ATSB. Australian airline Qantas responded to the allegations, saying it was phasing out the use of these aircraft and fume incidents were incredibly rare. Extensive global research has been undertaken into cabin air quality, and there was no evidence linking fume events with long-term health effects for passengers or crew. Qantas Medical Services Director Dr. Ian Hosegood said to news.com.au. Some former crew members are now pursuing legal action against the Australian government over the conditions on board planes. Brett Wallace, a former flight attendant, is determined to prove the link between pesticides sprayed on international flights and his Parkinson's disease. There has to be a link between these brain tumours and cancers among flight crew and the toxic environment that we are working in, he told news.com.au. More research needs to be done. Thank you for listening to OTS Radio.